And yeah, other than that, uh, I did partake in one more thing, but I will be giving a spoiler warning for that right now because what we did is we all watched, if not already watched, the first season of Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid. So we're gonna be. I know
Yeah.
I got up to season. I finished season one. Where are you, Jay?
I finished the whole thing.
You're completely caught up. And Black Johnson, where are you?
I'm done with Cobra Kai for right now. I'm
I'm
caught up all
I'm
the way.
definitely in like the middle of season two.
You're in the middle of season two. Okay, so we basically have three levels of where we're at in the show. So yeah, spoiler warning right now. We're going to be
Yes, so I
talking.
will.
We're going to go into super detail with at least season one of Cobra Kai. Oh, and the Karate Kid, but you should
Now,
have watched that.
before we get talking about it, I will say this. I don't like it all kind of blends into one thing for me. So when I talk about it, I will try my best to be very vague because I don't really remember everything that was in the third season. I'm trying to like refresh my memory right now.
Maybe you
So
should have watched the first
I'll
season
try to be
again.
as vague as possible. What's that?
He's like, maybe you should have watched the first season again, since you knew for like a
I
week we
probably
were going
should.
to
I
talk
remember
about
the first.
this.
No, no, no. I
Well,
remember the first season. I remember the first season.
I just watched the first season and it's fresh in my brain, so pretty sure
Yeah,
I can jog his memory.
I literally stayed up all last night and didn't get to bed until 3 in the morning today, watching Cobra Kai. Uh, I did also watch the first Karate Kid on Friday because I wanted that to be fresh in my mind when watching Cobra Kai season one.
Mhm.
And I will say,
Yeah.
doing that was a fantastic idea because it made that show so much better, having that still fresh
Yeah.
in my mind. And I think I can start out my expression with Cobra Kai um, in one solidarity filled phrase or thought. That those blue fucking mats with that gold fist are banger.
Right.
Yeah.
That guy was completely right.
It's all about the blue mats.
It is all about the blue mats and that gold fist.
I think honestly that they couldn't get the original mats and like the original stuff and like they thought that they could recreate it but like it was probably easier to get like new mats made so they wrote
No,
that in
no,
there
they did that on.
just to fix.
They were able to recreate everything else in that fucking show. They could have got the damn mats
Yeah,
if they wanted to.
probably right. That's what I thought. But no, a lot of it's a brilliantly put together show because I feel like a lot of people who have been talking about how much they like Cobra Kai are not fans of the original series. Like at least from what I've heard from people that like who I know have seen it, like aside from YouTube, a lot of them don't know the original Karate Kid series that well. And
That's
they
horrible.
love it just for that. So like that's it's I know, it's
See
weird,
that
but
blows my mind because
it's
I
such
would
a good
think.
show that it's like mhm.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying it's such a good show. They do such a great job of like having the new story like be so connected to the movies without like overpowering the story. That it's introducing so many people who weren't familiar with the series to begin with to the series. And now I know a lot of people that have gone back and watched the original three and who've actually really liked it because how closely connected it is to Cobra Kai, obviously.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, so for those who don't know what the actual show Cobra Kai is about, it is a sequel to the Karate Kid movies.
mhm.
Specifically, Karate Kid 1, where your main
Yeah,
character is the bully villain Johnny from Karate Kid 1. He was in the movie Karate Kid, he was the jock, he was the bad boy, all the girls loved him. He was doing the karate. He was the rich kid, and Daniel Larusso, our karate boy, he was the kid from Newark, New Jersey. he was forced to move out to Reseda, California, by his mother for getting a new job. He's the odd man, and he gets picked. Okay, he gets picked on. But apparently, very easily gets the girl, Allie, in the movie, which I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, you don't.
No, 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 no. Rewind. He doesn't get her easily. It's just that because she already broke up with Johnny Lawrence, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as they say, he didn't break up with her, so he still had feelings for her, but she already moved on.
Yeah.
And she sees like, this weird guy that she's never kind of seen, a Newark, New Jersey dude. So it's almost like a delicacy to her. And she's like, oh, that harsh accent and the fucking hair all over the place and his darker skin tone. I love that.
They're at a beach party, and little karate boy shows up. This skinny Italian boy from Newark, New Jersey shows up, and she is surrounded by all these in shape blonde dudes, and she's like, "What is this? What is this thing?" And you could tell, like, the second she sees freaking little karate boy, her ovaries start popping, and she's like, "I need this." And that might sound weird, but like, no, literally, when she sees freaking Johnny, she is like, "Okay, I'm going for this guy. Like, I am all about him." No, not Johnny, Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I don't know if it's that bad. I think like definitely he's new and like different, and like she's surrounded by all these like bleach blonde jocks and all that stuff. So like, of course, like she just dealt with a relationship of a guy just like that, so she wouldn't be interested in any of the other Cobra Kai guys because she just dealt with that.
Listen, here's my thing, man. We've all grown up, and I would assume born in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's a certain thing I've been told where if you're from New York, it doesn't matter where you go, people will kind of get that gist, just by the way we talk, by the way we move. In California, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people are more laid back and chill, whereas they're starting their day, waking up casually at like 7, 8, 9, 10, like slowly. A lot of times around 11 or 12 even, we're up at like 7 or 8, ready to go, like a rocket, man. We're just going fast. And the thing about this movie that was weird, right, is you have him in the car with his mom. There's no real explanation of what's going on. They're saying goodbye to like some of the neighborhood kids, right, in Newark, New Jersey, right? Then basically they drive, and they make it look like it takes like a day to get from like Newark to Jersey, Newark, Jersey to Cali.
That thing took 3 or 4 days at the most for them to get there. If they were driving,
that takes a solid week.
If they drove straight through without stopping maybe once, they took them like 2 days.
Well, maybe she has a flux capacitor in a station wagon.
Because Daniel, it is the 80s, so Daniel could have probably taken a shift or two, like driving on the interstate.
No,
station wagon.
Because they mentioned in the movie.
I don't think so.
They mentioned in the movie that he like has little to no driving experience. And apparently also, Mr. Miyagi also has little to none driving experience. So that's why Daniel has
to have a license.
Yeah, but Mr. Miyagi is Mr. Miyagi. It doesn't matter.
He can do anything.
I mean,
but isn't it weird though? Like I was watching the movie recently, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like this guy is there, and I actually noticed some funny stuff. So you know how like they pull up to their place in Reseda, California, and it has like the palm trees and stuff. As his mom is walking to the door, I see someone run, and the top of their head with a hat or something, or their hair, runs to the corner of the door so they can open it for her. And I'm like, that's not supposed to be in the movie. Like I found that, I was like, that's pretty fucking hilarious. Then
really?
Later,
I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Don't worry. In post, snip. Scene and insert scene here.
Yeah, well, they forgot to snip. Like they were basically there, and she was like, come on, just give it a chance. And as she's going to the door, I'm like, okay, she has her hands full, and I see the door kind of just open by itself. But then, of course, you see Daniel come and he kicks it, and then the dude, his like neighbor from like I think apartment 14 or 16 or whatever.
Some apartment.
He's there to greet him. Yeah, and he's like, wait, he kicked the door on him, and he goes, wow, was that kung fu or like martial arts or karate? And he's like, yeah, you gotta teach me. And I'm like, I would be pissed that a fucking door hit me. You know what I'm saying? But it's really interesting because a lot of that stuff I didn't realize. Like, that movie's from what, 1994, I think,
82.
or 84.
I think
Is
it's
it 82?
I think it's 82. Yeah.
I thought it was 84 for some reason. I'm sorry,
early?
but
No, I think it's more of the early. I don't think
I thought it was 94.
No, it's
I'll look it
not
up right
94 because Karate Kid 3 is an 89.
Oh, so it has to be 84.
It's 84.
84? Okay.
Yeah.
84.
So,
84,
damn, I was
yeah.
1 year old. Jeez. But
I was
basically,
-1.
it just, you weren't even existing yet.
Yeah.
Nice. But
Yeah.
maybe. But it was just one of those things where it was like weird how old it looked. And I was just like revisiting all that. And kind of just like, I caught little things like how they had to have the faucet fixed. And Daniel goes to like, Mr. Miyagi, and Mr. Miyagi's trying to catch the fly with his chopsticks. And then he's just like, are you the guy that's, that fixes the stuff? And he's just like, hi. And he's like, psh, psh, with his chopsticks. And then he's like, hey, we got a broken faucet. And the way he's talking to him, I kind of didn't like. It made me feel a little upset. But I mean, I get it. He's from Newark. He's straightforward and to the point.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the movie holds up kind of in a way, but it's just so 80s. It's painfully 80s,
And they go into that in the show. Like, it seems like Johnny, when you meet him in Cobra Kai, he hasn't progressed past that 1984 Reseda mindset. It's almost like when he got beat at.
Damn it!
What's that?
No, I'm sorry. I had notes on the movie. I took notes down, and apparently it didn't save, so I'm a bit upset.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, we can do it on the fly.
I'll remember.
But like I was saying, yeah, when you see Johnny in the show, it's very much like how, like, it's almost like when he got kicked in the face with the crane kick at the All Valley, karate tournament. Like, he like kind of got stuck in that mindset because like it was very traumatizing for him.
Well, he had always been a winner.
So
he had always been a winner.
Exactly.
He and it was the first time he really felt defeat, and it just spiraled.
Well, on top of that, he almost got freaking choked out and killed by his sensei right afterwards.
Yeah.
So that was super traumatizing.
Funny enough, that's not
well.
in Karate Kid 1. That's like in the beginning of Karate Kid 2.
Is it?
That's an added scene in Karate Kid 2. Because literally Karate Kid 1, it ends with the scene of Mr. Miyagi like this. It just goes to black.
Is that it?
Nice.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
I kind of watched them all around the same time, so like it all blends together as well.
I think that the show though is brilliant because I was one of those people where I saw that there was Cobra Kai on Netflix and all that, and I was just like, I guess, like, you look at those things and you're like, hopefully this is not another bad remake or something.
The reason I didn't,
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut in. Just.
Oh no, definitely express it, bro. Feel it.
The reason why I didn't watch Cobra Kai when it first came out is because it wasn't on Netflix. It was a YouTube Red show.
Oh, that's right.
And there was no way in God's green earth I was gonna pay for YouTube Red.
Yeah, so the first 2 seasons were YouTube Red.
Yeah.
They were on there.
That's fucking horrible.
It got a lot of great reviews, like critically, the first 2 seasons, but a lot of people weren't watching it because just like you said, Geff, like we already have like Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus. Like we don't need to buy another subscription service. So YouTube Red didn't do very well.
The thought had crossed my mind.
Netflix swooped in and bought it.
The thought had crossed my mind.
Like
to try
all
to get
they
it.
had was Cobra Kai. That's the thing. That was the only good show they had. So Netflix swooped in and bought it, obviously, because they have all the money. And I believe season 3 was already filmed, but it wasn't shown yet. So they bought the rights to Cobra Kai and they like dropped season 3 and the first 2 seasons at the same time.
Yeah, like I was saying, the thought had crossed my mind to watch Cobra Kai by other means, but just never got around to it.
Indeed. Yeah, because you're right. Like I forgot that little part. Like it was on YouTube Red, and I was like, I'm never subscribing to YouTube Red. Like I don't mind having a little ad for a moment, and then I could watch my video for free. So I never did it. And then of course, J-pop channel here was like, you guys should definitely check out Cobra Kai. And I was like, fuck that. That shit looks like it's gonna be horrible. And he's like, no, give it a chance. And no joke, I'm not trying to gas him up or anything. I watched it and I was like, I need more. I need more of this. I told my
Told you.
lady, I was like, I'm watching Cobra Kai. I need more to watch. And it was just because it's painfully 80s. And like you guys were mentioning,
Yes.
he's like Johnny Lawrence is stuck in that traumatizing mindset where he just lost to Daniel LaRusso, a wimp from like Newark, New Jersey, who by his teachings of an older Japanese guy was able to manage to
Mhm.
kick this dude's ass, and he became an ultimate loser. And I'll let you chime in as well, Guff, please, because I feel the clock is turning in there or something.
Not only that he was like everything you said, with 2 months of training, just 2 months of training. Emphasize that.
Well,
And Miyagi wasn't even a
so
teacher. He wasn't even a sensei. He had no students.
yeah, but here's the thing though. I don't know. Maybe I think my problem is when I watch a show, I kind of look for that existential or deeper meaning or the spiritual thing behind this. Maybe it's showing like this guy. First of all, you guys have to understand, Mr. Miyagi was a war veteran. He received the Medal of Honor, which is the highest
Yep.
medal you can achieve, right? So you already know this guy had to do some crazy shit. Like he's seen his friends die, he's gone through some traumatizing stuff. That's why he's trimming the bonsais because he doesn't want to kill people. You understand? That's number one. Like he probably has all types of mental fucked up shit, yet
Not
he's
even
able to
that.
Are you saying
transcend.
that every time
The great
he's trimming
thing,
those bonsais, he is back in the foxhole in Japan?
probably, it's very
You never
therapeutic.
know. Like here's
Well,
the
that's
thing,
like the
right?
bonsai. Yeah, the bonsai is a symbol of the Miyagi-Do schools. So like it's kind of the symbol of
Correct.
balance because that's what the Miyagi-Do school teaches is all about balance. So that
But
must be
but if
like his what balances him out, and he taught that to Daniel, and it could be the coping mechanism like Black Johnson said.
How
well think
many?
about it, right? Like remember the movie, right? And
Yeah.
Daniel comes there. He's being picked on. He looks at himself. He's like, "Damn, this guy Johnny Lawrence is messing with me because I'm talking to his ex." Then they're playing
Mhm.
soccer, and some other guy messed with him, and he's just like, "I hate it here. I want to leave." So
Mm.
maybe in a way, it's almost like how people deal with stuff now, and even just a few years ago, mental health issues were like seen as not really being a thing or not being a problem. It's like everybody is going through some type of shit, right? So Mr. Miyagi was able to, I feel, calm his, pain down, whether it was the
Find the
sadness of
balance.
losing people he cared about. I don't know, like he's trimming those trees because he was like trying to find something deeper within to calm and steady himself. And then you got this fucking kid from Jersey. Exactly, the balance. You got this kid from Jersey who's a fucking asshole. Like he was literally an asshole,
He was a
talking to
douche.
people, and
Yeah.
he was like, hey, look at me, yeah, Like I saw when he was staring at this woman, right, Allie, who, funny
Elizabeth
enough,
Shue, played
she's
by
in the
Elizabeth Shue.
Saint. She's in the Saint, the movie The Saint with Val Kilmer. Um, and I find
No,
it funny that they were like talking about, yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's that's Nicole Kidman,
that's the
right?
same. No, it's not Nicole Kidman in The Saint. The
Yeah.
same woman, I think it's Elizabeth Shue, is also in The Saint, and she's also in Karate Kid. And it's funny because they were mentioning how smart and how intelligent and great Ali was in the movie. And I'm like, and then she became the person to discover nuclear physics and create cold fusion. But it's weird. But like you gotta think about it like this, right? Johnny Lawrence, his whole life got fucked up. It's almost like think about you having a prestigious job, you lose it, and all you could do is work as a salesperson at Blockbuster. That's what his life is. And you see it, and it's like, yo, J-pop, I'm telling you, when you told me to watch it, I felt bad for him. And I think that's what they're brilliant for. Like they make you feel bad for this guy that in the
Yeah,
whole first Karate Kid movie was an extreme asshole. You see him laying on his floor sometimes after passing out after drinking beers. He barely has food. His apartment is super dark. He looks like he's just like a few
taken
beers
by
away
bulimia.
from dying. dude, he looks so haggard and so messed up. You're thinking, damn, Danny LaRusso messed this guy's life up for good. And in the show, and this is a spoiler as well for people, but
Well, yeah, we've
in the
we've given
show,
spoiler warnings. Yeah.
yeah, we already, yeah, it's just like he's this, Danny LaRusso is this guy that owns all these different automotive like locations that sell all these cars. And he's making a lot of money and they have a beautiful house. Whereas, this guy lives in a place that's not too far from like a strip mall and it looks run
Yeah.
down and shitty. And he meets this kid that's, this like one of the main
They switch
characters, this
roles.
Latin kid.
I think his name was.
Dude,
They switch roles.
Miguel.
Danny's the one with the money now, and
Well,
Johnny's the
they
one living
they
in like Reseda.
literally switch roles to the fact where Johnny is now living in
Yeah.
Encino and he's now living in Reseda.
Yeah.
It's basically role reversal. That whole one
Daniel's
event,
living
that
in-
tournament, changed their trajectories in life opposite. All from
Yeah.
that
And,
one
and on
moment.
top of that, it went like Black Johnson was saying, how Johnny was seen as the bad guy, but like when Danny first gets to Reseda, and he's talking to Allie, he's kind of an asshole. He's doing the way he's talking to people. It's not until he gets balance from Miyagi that he learns to be the best version of himself. And when you see Daniel in Cobra Kai, he's talking to Johnny when they introduce him again. Even when you see him before he sees Johnny again, you see him on the TV, on the commercials, he's coming off as kind of an asshole. And then he talks to Johnny, you see that scene, and he's an asshole. Like Daniel's being a dick.
He's still that same dick. That's the thing. He was that dick in the original Karate Kid. It's that confidence that lets him continue being that person.
He was that cocky Newark kid. I'm telling you, like the funny thing about it is like I really started feeling bad for Johnny Lawrence because I was like, listen, this guy, he's messed up. And you go back in the season, which I believe was season 1, where they show who Johnny's dad was or who his mom was
his
with.
Stepfather.
And the stepfather, you could tell she did it because she wanted to have a life of wealth and provided goodness for her son. So she like was with this old dude and they had a big house and all the money. But this kid, Johnny Lawrence, at the beginning, he was actually a nice kid. He was like that nerdy kind of kid that was like not accepted by anyone. And his dad was like, you want to take karate or something? You think you're Bruce Lee? Like, what the fuck? And I was like, wow, he was really being an asshole to him. And then you kind of see how like people's parents, whatever they do, it can transcend onto your kids. And it made him now more of an asshole. And then, of course, when you had Kreese, his fucking like sensei, come on, bro. Kreese is horrible. I don't know. I felt really bad for Johnny Lawrence watching Cobra Kai.
That leads into one of, in my opinion, the best scenes in that first season is where Johnny and Daniel are driving along in that Charger and they're realizing how similar they are and they're like actually talking and like, yeah, you had it rough too, didn't you? It's like, yeah. And they're actually bonding. And then, of course, that's all ruined in a couple of minutes later for story reasons. But yeah.
Yeah, I remember like they even got out of the car. Yeah, I was gonna say I even saw like they got out of the car, and just like J-Pop said, you see a lot of it in the show where they got out the car, they had a drink, they were even like rocking back and forth, like shaking their head banging.
Yes, they were singing REO Speedwagon together.
And he's like, you like Speedwagon? He's like, what kind of man doesn't? And I'm like, okay, LaRusso. Anyway, but it was great, man.
Yeah, that reminds me of that one line too, because he takes a kid in eventually, one of his neighbors, Miguel, like this high schooler who's very much the wimpy. Thank you, Junk, for ruining my thought there.
He's basically like the same kind of archetype as Daniel in the beginning of Karate Kid.
No, yeah, but without the cockiness.
No,
but Daniel was like an outsider, though. It's actually not the same archetype as Daniel, because they're actually very different characters. Miguel is this, he's kind. Daniel was kind, but Daniel was cocky. He was the new kid. Miguel's been there for a long time. He's shy. He's not outspoken. And
Oh, the reason I said that is because, like, as a viewer, as like a casual viewer, you're supposed to connect them to Daniel because he's like has the same kind of build, the same kind of hairdo, he's the same like complexion. You know, his personality isn't very much like that. You later find out that his personality is more like a young Johnny. Well, Johnny was very
yeah,
much like Miguel.
to his detriment at the end of the season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To where it's
Oh, yeah.
ooh, is this? Should we be rooting for this kid?
Yeah, he really takes a turn for the worse, unfortunately.
Yeah, and to make it even sweeter, it's like you have this guy Miguel, who's this kid that got like bullied outside of the convenience store. He's looked at as like the odd man out. He's now the asshole, Johnny Lawrence, and then you take the asshole Robbie, who is Johnny Lawrence's son. And then Danny LaRusso takes him under his wing and starts teaching him karate and trying to teach him the Mr. Miyagi way. How fucked up is that? Where you look at it and you're like, I haven't been a good kid to my father. My kid hates me. Oh, wait a minute. I'm kind of adopting or taking in this Latin kid, named Miguel. And he's a piece of shit. And I'm racist against him. Oh, wait. But now I kind of see his issues. I see him for who he is. Wait, that's a little bit of me in there. Oh, his mom is pretty hot. And she makes me food. And the grandma digs me too. That's great. And then they have a good situation. He realizes he's been a terrible father. And when he wants to turn it all around, what happens? Danny LaRusso steals his son and takes him. And it doesn't, and it messes it up even more that Danny LaRusso's daughter is a looker in the show for like Miguel. And then Miguel wants to date her, they date or whatever. But then you got this suave white dude with the slick back hair coming into the picture out of nowhere. Yep. And I kind of felt bad because I'm like, this like a...
That made me feel uncomfortable because I was watching it. It's like, oh, fuck. Is Johnny's son going to like sweep her off her feet? And are they going to be the romance now?
Because at that point, you're rooting for Miguel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Felt the same way.
See, but I felt a certain type of way about it because I was like, is that like a comment on society where it's like, yeah, if a person of color is a little upset, they're looked at as like this horrible creature. Like, how dare you? But then everybody has their problems. Look at Robbie. Robbie had his issues, but guess what? Yeah, he's not a person with. But he's not a piece of shit. He's a slicked-haired white kid that just needs a little love and attention. And I'm like, that's fucking bullshit.
In Robbie's defense, he didn't get drunk and punch his girlfriend by accident, though.
So, in defense, also, first of all, especially hitting women and stuff like that, is wrong. And I know that Miguel did it by accident because he's trying to swing at Robbie. But you got to understand, Robbie was stealing people's computers that had credit card information on it, and then also selling their computer, pretending to be.
That scenario knew that. We knew that. That was to establish Nobody it. There knew that.
And at that point in the story, he had like left those ways.
Yeah, he redeemed himself.
He had already like changed his ways at that point, and was trying to be a better person. And Miguel was being a dumb teenager, where it's like, my girlfriend, she didn't reply my text for like 6 hours. What the fuck? Ooh.
But see, think about it like this, though.
We've all been there as kids, as teenagers.
But I want to ask you both, though, Guff and J-Pop, like, think about it, right? Johnny, he started out that way. He was the nice kid. Then his stepfather ruined him. Then after that, Kreese, right, ruined him. He was with Allie, which is like maybe the one person that could have redeemed him, could have saved his entire life, right, and made him a better person. And guess what happened? Hey, I'm Mr. LaRusso from Newark, New Jersey. He comes out of nowhere, and being the asshole he is. You know this and that. Like, no, I don't care. I don't want to hear your Newark accent. But he comes in
as on the beach over here.
Hey, you talking to me? You fucking wise. Like he comes in.
Shower over here. Oh,
you gotta think about it. Like, I guarantee you, back then especially, if you got Cali where you're just fucking surrounded by surfers and people with blonde hair or a lot of bright colored hair, and they're just chilling on the beach. You see someone that's from Jersey, you're gonna be like, damn, this person's a fucking breath of fresh air. And
Well, it's
it's
different.
it's
Yeah.
crazy to me.
Not from Jersey. Jersey. Nobody's ever called Jersey a
Well,
breath of fresh air.
well, what I mean that figuratively, not literally, because we already know all the jokes about Jersey and how much they used to get.
He is
But
from Newark too.
how great! Oh, and Newark especially is one of the places where people are like crime,
Oh, yeah.
like the poverty, all that's bad. But here's my thing,
Worst
though.
part of Jersey.
I still felt bad for Miguel because think about it. The mom took away her phone. She wasn't able to message him at all.
Mhm.
He's going through it. He sees Robbie at their fucking dinner table. Then she never mentions it to Miguel, right? He said, hey, I'm sorry how I acted, blah, 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 blah. By the way, what were you doing last night? Already knowing he saw her with this dude, and he's thinking, uh-oh, I'm being replaced by this, like, slick haired beach boy. And she's like, oh, nothing. I think I would be upset too. So that's why I started siding with
Well,
Miguel. I got to say, like,
in
I had to side with him, man.
in her
Like
defense,
yeah,
in her defense, when she said nothing was really, she said it was like nothing really, just dinner with family. To her, Robbie didn't
yeah,
really mean anything. Robbie was just a guy that works for her father that happened to be there. So in her defense, she didn't think of anything of Robbie. So why mention him and make things complicated?
right. But that's, I
Yeah.
think, I think that's like them touching on the whole thing about what it is, or it's school, it's high school, or whatever grade they're in.
Mm.
Pretty much that's how it was. Like, I remember high school. High school sucked because in elementary school, I was a kid getting good grades with the weird name.
They're
Then
freshmen
I was
there,
in
right? Yeah.
yeah, and then I go to high school, and it was like, okay, I was a kid in elementary school with good grades. Now I'm going to be like the class clown that still does well in school, but I make jokes. So that way I'm not like too much of a loser, but I'm kind of still a loser. And then
Mhm.
this kid, Miguel, he's there, and he's like, I'm just this Latin kid that sits around with a guy with a scar on his lip and a like extremely nerdy virgin dude. And it's like, I feel bad for Miguel. And then he finally
That
gets his break. And then guess what? Guess what happens? Even though I know Robbie didn't mean anything to her, they still had their glances shared, and I'm not an idiot. There was that attraction there, but it was kind of
yeah.
like that. I don't know who you are. You look like danger. You might be a bad boy. I don't know. I'm gonna just see how that goes, but I don't think anything of it. Of course, Miguel's gonna be like, "What the hell is going on? Why is this like white kid replacing me? Like, is it because your father doesn't like me? It's because this and that. Like, it's fucked up, man." And
Yeah.
she never was forward with him. She never said, "Oh, hey, listen, I'm gonna just be honest with you. My dad's giving me a hard time because you're in Cobra Kai. He said he hates Cobra Kai people, so I don't want to show him you at all. I don't want to introduce you, but I'm gonna, take my time and get there. And then that's how high school was. I mean, like, we all didn't know how to feel. A lot of us had these moments where people that we liked, we didn't know if they liked us. you know
Yep.
just be straightforward and tell me, hey, you like me? Oh, you hate my guts? Oh, you're not interested and you never want to talk to me ever again? And it's like, high school was so complicated. It's like, why don't you just be honest? And because there was no honesty there, that's why Miguel got drunk, because he felt bad and he tried to comfort himself in alcohol, which is never the way. And then he hit her by accident because he was trying to hit Robbie. Dude, it's messed up.
Yeah.
I
By the
felt
way,
a whole type of way. I'm sorry. Like, that was
we skimmed over it, but
I
I want to
remember when
say
you made me
something.
watch this series.
We skimmed over a part, but I want to mention something. Miguel's friend, not Lip, the other one, I
yeah,
hate that
Eli.
kid so much.
yeah.
I
Because he's like a
Eli.
nervous kid.
Eli was nice, but Eli takes a turn because he joins Cobra Kai and completely.
Why are
Johnny
we
tells
talking
him,
about
he's
things?
pussy.
Why are we talking about things that are not season 1 that I haven't seen yet?
Oh, I forgot about that.
What are you
Okay.
talking about? What do you mean?
Well,
I'm
here,
keeping
look,
it all season 1.
Yeah, Jason didn't.
I completely forgot.
So
Never
I'll
mind.
put it this way. It's one of
I
those
mean, you
things
did
where,
have all.
Guff. But wait, Guff, you finished season 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you saw the end of the tournament, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, it's almost like the people telling us, like, imagine if Cobra Kai.
Whoa. Not to cut you off. He's in the tournament. What the hell are you talking about? I'm not
What do you
ruining
mean?
anything for you.
No,
Eli.
he's not part of Cobra Kai. You're thinking of Hawk. You're thinking of Hawk.
Yeah, Eli is not
Eli and
in
Hawk
Cobra
is the
Kai.
same person, right?
Huh?
No.
No.
Isn't that his name, or is that the other friend?
No, that's the dude with the like
We're not talking
bowl
about
like
Lip.
haircut.
We're not talking about Lip, the guy with the freaking Joaquin Phoenix. No.
Yeah, and his real name is Eli, isn't it?
No, Eli's the dude that's really super nerdy and was trying to convince Miguel never to do karate because they already have so many issues. You know, the guy with the really dark hair.
The one that
Oh,
went
all right.
to
I
the
was talking. I mixed up their names. I was talking about Lip, so I didn't ruin anything.
Yeah, he was talking about Hawk. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the kid who went to Cobra Kai for like the one day and decided it'd be a great idea to be like, we don't have to listen to you. We paid you. You listen.
Yeah,
Yep.
He's like, y'all just call the cops.
He's like the worst character.
They're like, what do you do if someone's bullying you and trying to start something? Call the police. Duh.
They do some stuff with that character, but he doesn't really change. He's still
It's like,
super annoying.
yes, you calling the police, fantastic. What are you gonna do in the time that the police take to get there? And they are right in your face. Assuming they let you.
I fucking hate Eli. I'm sorry, I have to side with Guff here. Like, he's one of those characters, like, they do so well with the character development in this series, even though at times it's a little rocky, that they make you hate and like specific people. Like, I thought I could never hate Danny LaRusso because he was the one that was bullied. He came back in the movie. He won. You know, he got the girl. Mr. Miyagi was proud. And now I'm like, you're a fucking asshole. And like, you're not a bad dad, but you kind of don't care about your kids as much either. Like, your son is a fucking piece of shit. Now, what if he becomes a Johnny Lawrence?
Because we remember it's the whole thing where it's like we as an audience remember the Karate Kid in a nostalgic way, so we kind of like put Daniel LaRusso on like a pedestal because he was the star of the movie.
That's why we watched
it. They allow us to see it in a different way, in a different perspective, and that's what like the whole series is like throwing this story in a different perspective and like, wait, wow, Danny LaRusso was a dick. And yeah, he did have redeemable qualities, but he kind of started everything. He would have never had an issue if he didn't step on people's toes when he got there.
I think your fiance said you were right that Hawk's name is Eli as well, just to let you know.
See? I'm just saying. It is Eli.
What's the name of the other character?
Dimitri.
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Dimitri.
There we go.
Name. That's the one
Dimitri
is
the nerdy one. We don't like Dimitri.
Oh, Dimitri. My bad. Yeah.
Dimitri
Eli's
can go to hell.
By the way,
I don't like Dimitri.
Had like the worst character development, I think, out of every character
Dimitri,
that like is like him.
Dimitri's a character that on paper you would think would be funny with the stuff that he's doing. But in the context of the world, it is just comes off as, what's the word I'm looking for? Like he's an ass. Like
he's just like, he's a judgmental guy, you know?
He's very judgmental, actually.
Yeah, he's very much like you can tell he tries to use humor as like a coping mechanism, like to deal with like his shitty place socially in high school, but it just doesn't it comes off as very brash and it's not very good.
He comes off as someone who's like feels like he's better than you, even though he isn't. And not that he's better than you in social standing. He's better than you because he knows better than you in his mind that you shouldn't.
Yeah, he's a pretentious asshole.
Yeah,
very pretentious.
Yeah, and I don't like it because I have enough of that here in Brooklyn, you know? So it's like, it's one of those things where like... I don't
They
know.
develop the character more, but
Yeah,
I don't feel like they ever get to the point with that character that you feel like connected to him. I think they did enough damage
I
with him in the
gotcha.
earlier seasons.
I see. Yeah,
So
I
I
didn't
don't
like
think
him.
he's
Like,
as annoying in the later seasons, like second and third season, but I think they do some development with him. I like that he's like the worst developed character out of the whole series, I think.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, to be honest, it's like I look at all the characters, even like the really skinny white kid with glasses that joins Cobra Kai. You know what I'm talking about? The really short
The
one,
one that looks like he's
blonde
10 years
hair,
old.
like
Oh,
really
right.
tiny kid. I like him
By the
more than
way,
Dimitri.
speaking of that kid, fantastic throwaway scene where he sees Johnny at a low point after Johnny finds out that his son is with uh working like learning karate with Daniel. And he's like he said something along the lines I went to the store to buy like some medicine or something
Yeah.
like that, and he's buying this magazine of like humongous asses or something.
Something
And it
like
has
that.
a black woman on the
Yeah.
front. I loved it.
And the cashier just looks at him and is like, okay.
The skinny white kid
No, he
is
said I
just a
went there to buy
big
milk.
black butt.
Yes, he
He
went there
goes,
to
I
buy
went there to buy
milk.
milk.
And he's getting this freaking
Milk.
humongous asses magazine.
I love
And
that.
then fucking Johnny Lawrence is peeing on the back of his own license plate. I'm like, what are
Yeah.
you doing, bro? You got this car for free. Like, what are you doing?
It's a
Messing up
really
your
Daniel
good
car?
car
LaRusso on it.
too. Like a car that I almost got when I was in the military. Because
It's a
my car
dope
was like
Dude,
car.
a 2009
the car,
Mustang. But
I
he
don't
got
want
the
to ruin it
200.
for you, but the car is going to be the car. Trust me.
What do you mean the car
That's
is going
all
to
I
be the
can
car?
say. The car is fantastic, and you'll see it transform just like the characters do in Cobra Kai.
I
I
think that happens in the first season.
I have no
And
idea.
no, it happens in the second season, first episode. Because remember,
Right.
at the end of the first season, you got Kreese, and he walks into the Cobra Kai dojo, and he's like, "You did the one thing I thought you could, win." And then after that, you see the transformation happen. You know,
You're right.
you'll
Huh.
see Guff. Just watch the first of season two. If you like his car, you're gonna love it even more. Trust me.
Okay.
Black Johnson, have you gotten to the end of season 2 yet?
I don't believe I have. I can't specifically say where I've gotten because I don't want to ruin it for Guff. But
It's the very last episode, which I was gonna bring up. I'm not gonna say
nah,
anything, but like that season finale. Just wait until you get to that season finale. We'll be talking about it the next episode. It is
got you.
fucking phenomenal.
I'm afraid that I'm going to be upset with the whole love triangle storyline because it seems that it's so easy for the writers to just go with the storyline of Johnny's son gets together with Daniel's daughter, and
Yeah.
it seems so easy for them. It's like I would be very upset if that's what happens, and I feel
Well,
like
here's the thing too.
it might just taint my viewing
They don't
experience.
take the easy
So,
route.
but here's the thing though,
They
right?
don't take the easy route.
Don't tell me
I
yes or no
feel
though.
I feel like from the first season, because I haven't really seen it yet, but in the first season, you see like, yeah, his son might hook up with Daniel's daughter, but I even start seeing in the first season that like Johnny Lawrence might hook up with Miguel's mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see
And
that
I'm
too. Yeah.
right, but now how fucked up would this be? And I haven't seen it, right? So I'm not going to ruin anything for you, Guff. Trust me.
Hmm.
And J-pop, I know you got that in you. You want to say something so bad, but here's what I would say.
I don't even want to see
How
your
fucked up?
smirking, Jay.
No, but here's the thing, and I'm
Cover
not
your
giving
mouth.
anything away because I really honestly didn't see any of this yet in the second season. But how fucked up would it be that basically Robbie ends up with Daniel LaRusso's daughter, right? Then Johnny ends up with Miguel's mom. Then Miguel gets pissed because Johnny is not the Johnny he thought, and then ends up joining fucking Danny LaRusso to learn from him to spite Johnny. That's what I want to see. a fucking triple deception kind of thing, you know?
That would be really awkward
That's
for him though, going
well,
there.
think about it. No, because here's the thing. Then so Robbie, uh, I can't. I can't really talk about season two, but in season one, you kind of get a gist that, Johnny knows he fucked up with his son. He knows more when he sees his son with Daniel. Thinks
Well,
about,
he
damn,
he
that could
knows
have
he
been the
fucked
father.
up a lot of things
Right.
after the tournament.
But, but what if it flips and because Johnny is getting to, really trust and wanting to be with his son, and he starts filling his head with all this bullshit and brainwashing that he dumps Samantha, which is Daniel's daughter, and then Miguel goes to learn from Daniel LaRusso, and then his father finally brings him aboard Cobra Kai, becoming the next Johnny Lawrence,
Hmm.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm just saying, I want to see some crazy shit. And if not, I'm going to be very upset.
You won't be.
Jay, don't even say anything, bro.
Yet saying you won't be is still saying something. Shut up.
Wait, what do you mean?
I'm talking to Jay.
Yeah, what happened? He didn't say
He
anything. It's just,
he answered
oh, he
you.
said you won't be?
He answered you, and I was like, "Shut
I
up,
did
dude."
not hear it. I did not hear it, bro. But
You're doing great.
The internet
dude, I don't.
the internet cut out for you, and freaking censored him for you.
Yeah, it was like, shh, you don't need to hear that.
Fiber was like,
Nah, but well, my thing was like this, right? Like, I just want to know where it goes. How many seasons are there total? You said 3?
3.
Yeah. 3 and they're working
Okay,
on
I got to
4.
catch up. I don't know, Guff, if you can
Mhm.
try to watch at least a little bit into season 2, because like,
Oh, I'm gonna
or
watch the
try
whole
to finish.
second season today.
Okay, cool.
I'm,
Me too,
I'm
because
finishing.
it's
That's as much as I can.
it's really good so far that I've seen.
So, did you tear up at the scene with Daniel going to Mr. Miyagi's grave?
I did.
I did because I know, like, Pat Morita, who played him,
Yeah.
is actually dead. And I'm like, damn, I think this is, I think they put that in there because they know that this dude, right, he actually really cared about Pat Morita,
Hmm.
And I know Pat Morita had died, I think early 2000s, like 2003 or 4.
2005. They have it at the end of that
Oh, 5?
episode.
Okay.
Like on Miyagi's
Yeah.
gravestone, it says he dies in 2011, but
Yeah, which is
Pat
false.
Morita actually died in 2005.
Exactly. And I know, I feel like they put that in there on
On his
purpose.
gravestone, the year is different from when Pat Morita died, but the name, you never get Miyagi's real name, like his first name in the movies. I don't think so.
I believe you do in the second one.
Oh, so I
Or
didn't know
maybe
that.
even in the
I
first
didn't
one
watch-
too, actually. I think you actually do see it in the first one. Like on like
I did
one of
not
his
know
army
this,
stuff.
but Pat Morita's Japanese name, his original name, is the same as his actual, like as Miyagi's first name. So they wrote that in to the character. I didn't know that until I saw the gravestone. It's a little thing. I didn't know that was in the movies. I must have missed that.
Was like Norotoshi Miyagi, something like that?
Yeah, it definitely was
something
something
like
like with an N.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like I really felt touched by that because I think the guy that I forgot his real name, I keep forgetting it now, but he was in the guy that plays Danny LaRusso. He was also in this movie Crossroads, which I loved. It was from back in the day.
Ralph
It's,
Macchio.
I can't hear you, Jay. What?
Ralph Macchio.
What'd you say?
Ralph.
Yes, thank you, Ralph
Ralph
Macchio.
Macchio.
I think
Yeah.
Ralph Macchio really, really misses Pat Morita. So them putting that scene in there, I almost teared up and cried because I was like, he is gone, he's dead, and now I feel as you get older, people start to contemplate their own mortality. So I feel like Ralph Macchio's even like, shit, what was I doing really after Karate Kid? Nobody really saw him. He wasn't doing shit, but they decided to revive this by bringing Cobra Kai back, pretty much reviving his career, pretty much reviving Johnny Lawrence's career.
Without really ruining anything about the show, like in the first season, like the later seasons of the show, you see a lot of like the Miyagi DNA kind of like connected throughout like the stories, because like the archetype is there in several different forms. Like You have Johnny obviously being like a new sensei, and he's like kind of like a Miyagi archetype in his own way. And then Daniel taking, Robbie under his wing, so he's kind of passing on tradition. Um, you have what is his name, Kreese as well. So you see like that kind of relationship where you got to see Miyagi and Daniel's sensei and student relationship, and you kind of get to see a little bit more of that in the series. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff that you guys haven't seen that like I hope that they keep going in this fourth season where like Miyagi's all over the writing of the show, whether it be like intentional or just like kind of like as a homage, like a light homage to Pat Morita and the character of Miyagi. So yeah, it's definitely like they put that as a big a strong point when it came to writing the show. They wanted to throw a lot of Miyagi into it.
I have a question. When remember when? Well, I think this might be in the second season, so I'll kind of be a little vague. Him, Daniel LaRusso, setting up the garage area or the pool house to be the dojo again.
That's in season.
Remember,
one,
he put up the. That's in season 1, yes, but there's a point where he puts up all the different people's faces, and he puts up Pat Morita's face, like Mr. Miyagi. That was in season 2, right?
That's one. Is this one as well?
That's
yeah. Like remember, that was a beautiful shot. You got to go back and look at it because he puts up the black and white picture of Mr. Miyagi, and then you could see the faint image reflection of him on the top right. And I almost like lost my shit there because I was just like, yo, you could see how sad he actually looks. Like he was really friends with Pat Morita.
The interesting thing too is that like it's the same thing as like with Creed, which I'm sure you guys have seen.
The first one. Yeah, I've seen the first one.
Yeah, the first Creed. Yeah, in the first Creed, like Stallone was the same age as Burgess Meredith was when the first movie came out. So when like Mick and Rocky met each other, they're Stallone was that same age as that Mick was when he met Adonis. So in this show, Daniel LaRusso is the same age as Miyagi was when he met Daniel, or around the same age at least. Yeah.
Wait, what?
So there's a lot of parallels in there.
Are you sure? Only because I feel like Miyagi was really old.
He looked that way, but nowadays people actually take care of their health and shit like that.
Miyagi served in World War II.
But Daniel mentions it, that he's that same age that Miyagi was.
Miyagi was not like 40 something.
You think Daniel LaRusso is 40 something?
No, isn't he in his 50s?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's
I
what I'm
feel
saying.
Like in the movie,
Miyagi was not in his 50s.
Yeah, like Miyagi, I think in the first Karate Kid, they were trying to make him seem like he was in his mid 60s at least. I think I could be wrong though.
They mentioned that he's the same age.
I think that was just for story though.
It could be, but he's around the same age, so it's like the same where he's at the same point of his life that Miyagi was.
Ooh, because that would be even better, right? Because now he's contemplating his own life, his developments, what he's slacking on. Oh, that's even better, man.
Yeah, there's a whole part of the story where he like, not to ruin too much, but he's like looks to Miyagi's wisdom.
Ralph Macchio is the same age as Pat Morita, the actor, not Daniel and Mr. Miyagi.
But he literally mentions it in the story that he's the same age.
Interesting. No. I don't know.
So I don't know. He definitely was older than Daniel was supposed to be in the first movie, like the actual actor. So I don't know how they worked that in. Like maybe they worked it into like season 3 or season 2. Like I said, like it kind of melts into one for me. But it's an interesting parallel that they do, which like I didn't see it at first, but like after watching all 3 seasons, I was like, oh, they probably took that from Creed, because that was a cool part of Creed.
Interesting.
And like
I never knew that about Creed.
They probably would have. Yeah, it's a really cool story point, like something that they probably didn't think of when they first wrote it, but it just kind of came together. You looks like you have something in your mind, Guff.
I think what he's doing is he's calculating how old Pat Morita, the actor, would have been in the first Karate Kid, and then he's calculating Ralph Macchio's age.
And now,
Doing some head work. Like, what's the youngest Mr. Miyagi could have been in World War II to the
In
point of
World
the
War II?
movie? Because it was like 84, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I would assume like 16 or 17 because it was the 40s, so they would have just taken anybody. I feel like, but I'm trying to like go. my thought process on World War II now, and people enlisting is like Captain America. So like Steve Rogers, like
So, like,
his
the youngest he could have been, like, the youngest he could have been, like, let's say he was 21 at the end of when World War II ended.
right.
He would have been 60 during the Karate Kid movie.
And how old is Ralph Macchio now? Or in
Not
the
60.
the first season?
He's
Yeah, well, how old is he?
He's not 60.
He's not 60.
How old is he in the first season of Cobra Kai?
Well, let's see here. He's it takes
Could've been
place
like
in 84, right? The first
84.
Karate Kid movie.
So 84, 94, 2004, 2014. Plus like 4 years. So that would have been like what, 34 years? Because I think Cobra Kai season 1 took place in like 2018, 2019. So that would have been 34, 35 years.
So as you can
He's
see,
50,
everyone.
he's 57 years old in Cobra Kai season 1, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Around the same age. You think the writers
I
didn't do
don't
their
know.
math?
I mean, how old is actual Ralph Macchio?
Wait, what?
Probably older.
How old is Ralph Macchio in 2018? So like, subtract, I don't know, 2 from his age now.
Okay,
How
no,
old is
no,
he?
no. It says Ralph Macchio was 57 during Cobra Kai season 1.
Okay.
So
Right. So he would have been
he
a
would have
little bit
been-
younger, maybe like 3 or 4 years at the very least.
they say Daniel is currently 53 before Cobra Kai season 3 begins.
What?
He's really young. That seems
Maybe Mr. Miyagi was young and he just had really bad male pattern baldness.
No,
And
no.
it just
What happened was Mr. Miyagi lied about his age, and he was 14 when he was 14 fighting in World War II, getting some girl pregnant. in Okinawa.
He was married with a kid on
I
the
mean,
way. So he
if
would
it
have
was
to be at
working
least-
when he was 14,
Because
Oh,
if you were to legally get married, he was legally married to his wife, so you'd have to be 17 or 18.
unless the parents give consent.
Yeah, but if the parents weren't in the States, I don't think so.
You don't know how Japan rolls,
Because we're
man.
like
Have you
no,
seen
because
those
from
animes?
Karate Kid 2. His parents were still home in Japan,
Oh.
right?
yo, why are we trying to fucking figure out quantum physics almost here about his age?
Because someone keeps
Like, wait a
insisting.
minute.
Because someone keeps
Wait.
insisting that Mr. Miyagi was in his 40s during Karate Kid 1.
Wait, what is it, Mr. Miyagi?
The story.
But Jay, is it Mr. Miyagi, or are we talking about multiverse Mr. Miyagi? You know?
Earth
This is what Daniel
23,
says.
Mr.
He was around the same
Miyagi.
Wait a minute. I had an idea. Follow me on this journey, if you will. What if Mr. Miyagi was there and he was in his 60s, but then Mr. Miyagi from the past did a time jump, and now there's 2 Mr. Miyagis? I can't even finish it. I'm sorry.
A portal opens up, and it's the Flash carrying Mr. Miyagi. He's like, we
Like,
need
he
to
has a
change the
little- He has a
timeline.
little drop.
That one.
Allie's the key.
Yo, the cold fusion works. I'm crying, yo. Like, it's the Marvel multiverse bringing Mr. Miyagi.
It's the real multiverse of madness.
Holy shit. I understand. When Ant-Man shrunk down so much, he was able to go smaller than a really tiny molecule. And then he transpired through time to find Mr. Miyagi fighting in World War II. And then he saw he was fighting alongside Captain America. And then he brought them both back.
Right before he brought him back, Ant-Man looked at Miyagi's just like this.
He's like, yeah, I saw the movie.
On the
Gives him a...
Oh, that's funny enough.
No,
Wait, was that
no.
When
He
Daniel
catches Ant-Man with the chopsticks.
Yo. Oh man, holy shit. When you did the thing with the rubbing hands.
This is the Cobra Kai WandaVision crossover that I never knew I wanted.
Is Rob Snyder involved with Cobra Kai? I need to know now.
No.
Is there a Cobra Kai chapter in Wakanda?
Oh God. The Black Snake.
No, they're the Black Mambas.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
I don't know how to feel now. That was fantastic. Imagine if that's great. Imagine if in First Karate Kid, when he's trying to get the fly, it was actually Ant-Man just trying to warn him about everything that was going to go down. Imagine.
Now I'm curious now of all the different multiverse versions of Mr. Miyagi just out there.
And then you have Elizabeth Shue, who then, like I said, figured out cold fusion in The Saint. Oh, so good.
Mr. Miyagi's out there with the Wanderer and fucking Stan Lee.
What if, because of Elizabeth Shue in The Saint finding cold fusion, she was the one that let Tony Stark's dad know about the reactor core, which he used in his suit? My God.
What if Mr. Miyagi was the one in the cave with Tony Stark?
Holy shit. Taught him balance.
Yeah. He told him
we never mentioned
we have to clean this cave, and then that teaches them how to build the Iron Man suit.
Do you remember how they get rid of Allie in the fucking Karate Kid universe?
No, they
do you remember the reason why she breaks up with him though?
No, I forgot.
They mention it later on in the series. Not to ruin too much.
So in Karate Kid 2, they mentioned that they break up. I forget if they go into detail. It's apparently she fell during prom night or something. I don't know if it was senior prom or what. But she tells him that, sorry, Johnny, sorry, freaking Daniel, the person I was madly in love with in Karate Kid 1, but I met some fucking football player in UCLA. Peace.
The football player? No.
That's not what happens. If that is in the movie, that they retcon it in the show.
Yeah, because in the movie, I'm almost confident. I'm 100% confident that it's she tells him that she falls in love with some football player or something and someone in UCLA, and he ends up crashing his freaking car.
Yeah,
who crashed the car?
They go into that a little bit more in a later episode, but I don't want to say.
Wait a minute. Wait. Elizabeth Shue, Allie, makes an excuse to leave that she likes a football player at UCLA. He crashes his car and ends up owning car dealerships, and she
Yes.
figures out cold fusion.
That's the
Come on.
reason. That's how they get rid of Elizabeth Shue, so he can have another romance with the Japanese girl. In
Japanese girl.
No.
Because you can't have your main character be two timing girls.
No, because he's already an asshole enough. He can't.
They stole Elizabeth Shue away because they knew that her great scientific methods would be needed to figure out cold fusion, so that Tony Stark can have the hyper nice core reactor. I'm telling you.
Wait, what if Mr. Miyagi's way of fucking melding through time is that little fucking thing that he goes back?
That's what I'm saying. When you start doing it in the perfect motion, which is why he even tells Daniel about balance, is that if you do it perfectly, when you get them both hitting on this fucking even plane, you open a fucking rift in time and space where you can fold space and jump through it. And he even can visit his wife from the past. He could do everything. That's what I'm telling you. He runs into Cap, but not the Cap that was first there. The older man Cap. Yeah, the old man that says,
No, he uses it to go back in time to fucking smack John Travolta and Welcome Back Carter.
Oh, man.
Was he on that show?
Yeah.
I thought he was on
Welcome Back Carter. Nice.
Yeah, he's a teacher in that fucking show, dude.
Nah, Welcome Back Carter is the shit. I remember that. Everybody had afros,
Pat
man.
Morita was on Happy. I knew he was on. I knew Pat Morita was on Happy Days. I didn't know he was on Welcome Back Carter.
Yeah, that's where he got his big break, I think, as Welcome Back Carter. He sounds fucking like nothing like Mr. Miyagi in that show. That's his real voice.
No, he got a on. I know he was on Happy Days. I remember seeing reruns of him working at Arnold's.
God, I want to know so much more about the freaking Mr. Miyagi multiverse.
Can you create it? I need you to use string theory and quantum physics and all this stuff just to bring all this about. What if Mr. Miyagi was actually part? Wait a minute. What if Mr. Miyagi was supposed to be portraying himself as a good guy, but he was part of Hydra? But then Mr. Miyagi goes back into the past to save his, past self from going that wrong path and not becoming part of Hydra. So that's why there's two Mr. Miyagis. And that's why, everybody, there's two different dates. There's Pat Morita when he was born and when he died, and there's Mr. Miyagi when he was born and died. It's a cover.
So
9/11 was an inside job.
There's Miyagi good and Miyagi Negro.
Well, think about it. You can have no good without the bad. It's like the yin and the yang.
It's like fucking Dragon Ball. Don't shoot. It's not Miyagi Black.
So Morita played Mr. T, or his full name was Taro Takahashi. He was a Japanese inventor whom he portrayed in one episode of Welcome Back Kotter. So he's only on one episode.
Excuse me. Did you just say a Japanese inventor?
Yes.
Oh my! He was the same character.
So basically, he was a guy that was very handy.
Japanese Hank Pym. Yeah.
He figured out how to travel time and space. I'm fucking telling you. You don't understand. No. So Elizabeth Shue in Karate Kid goes and figures out cold fusion in The Saint, but then
UCLA.
Uses that. Yeah, she goes and sees a UCLA dude. She starts doing her thing. She notices that she might have something working here. She figures out cold fusion. Val Kilmer steals the actual formula, but then gives it to the world so it can be used for free. But there was a copy of that. So then Elizabeth Shue got that back. She puts it to the side. She travels back in time because she knew she was an asshole to Danny LaRusso. But then she didn't get to see Danny. It falls out of her pocket. Mr. Miyagi gets it, goes and uses that formula to go back in the past to be a fucking inventor in Welcome Back Kotter. Come on.
Now, does this Elizabeth Shue have access to the DeLorean from Back to Future 2 and 3?
Oh.
2 and 3, yes.
Damn, son.
Is there a Mr. Miyagi?
Imagine
out there in like
Miyagi.
2010.
Yeah.
What was it? Was
It's
it
the
October something 2010?
And Doc Brown working together.
Dude, it's the Triple M, the Mr. Miyagi multiverse. I'm telling you, Mr. Miyagi is the key to
Or
everything.
the reason why you can't see Mr. Miyagi is because it's this Elizabeth Shue from Hollow Man.
Y'all are really cooking with gas here.
I'm not going to
Well,
mention Adventures in Babysitting.
Well, I'm just saying, what if Mr. Miyagi traveled time and space so much, right, that he tore into the fabric of time and space? So he's on an actual other plane of existence. So we're on the third while he's on the fourth. So he could be right here standing where I am. I just can't fathom him or see him at all. Whoa. Amazing.
I don't know how we're gonna top this. I don't know how like Cobra Kai season 3 is gonna be good for either one of you without time traveling Miyagi in it.
Oh, we'll be thinking about it while we watch. Trust me.
He was in Sanford and Son?
Yeah.
I forgot about
of course.
That.
I did a deep dive on Pat Morita when I was watching Cobra Kai. I had the Wikipedia.
Wait, what is this movie?
There's some bad ones on there for sure.
Hold on, I think
It's all starting to come
our
together.
next viewing thing. What is this?
What is it?
Oh, okay. Just putting it out there. For next week, the next time we do the podcast, do we review the movie Collision Course starring Pat Morita and Jay Leno?
Yes.
Long time ago.
Jay Leno.
Pat Morita and Jay Leno, yeah. It's a good one. I'll rewatch
What is that movie even about?
I didn't know it existed.
Don't
Hold
even
on.
research it. No. Don't even research it before you go into it.
I mean, I have to read the synopsis first, at least, right? I'm not going to read the plot.
Better. That's fine.
You went to it blind, but go ahead.
All right. A Detroit crime boss, Medeiros, hires men to smuggle a top secret Japanese-made turbocharger into the U.S., but Medeiros crooks are murdered, and the turbocharger goes missing. As he searches for the stolen engine, so does straight-laced Tokyo detective Fujitsuka Natsuo, which is Miyagi. Eventually, local authorities catch wind of the case, and onto the investigation comes brash cop Tony Costas, Jay Leno, who must team with his polar opposite, Natsuo, to find the turbocharger.
Which is about cars, and Jay Leno collects cars. I rest my case. Everything is intertwined. String theory.
We're watching this.
Be in a car.
How do we watch this?
That's pretty good.
Where do we watch
this?
this?
And your name's Jay.
On his filmography, there's one like Time Master. There's Rice Girl. There's Every Crook and Nanny. Every Little Crook and Nanny.
This is for Pat Morita?
Yeah, this is all Pat Morita's filmography.
I'm telling you guys, there's like a code here. The Da Vinci Code is in all the movies.
I had no idea fucking Jay Leno did a movie.
He's in Babes in Toyland. He's actually in Babes in Toyland as well, the 1986 remake with Keanu Reeves and Drew Barrymore.
He's in Mulan.
What?
He was in Mulan.
He's in Mulan 1 and 2.
What?
Yeah. Yep.
He was in Bloodsport 2?
And Bloodsport 3.
Huh.
Damn, bro.
Wait, he was
So
in
if
Spy
you guys
Hard?
learned anything from this podcast today, is that Pat Morita lived a hell of a life. And it may or may not have involved time travel.
I'm speechless.
He was in a movie
As you
called
should.
Karate Dog.
Gotta pay those bills.
Times were tough.
Wait, what is this? This is prime 90s movie right here. Please tell me it's about him teaching a dog karate. I want it to be true.
Air Bud learns karate.
Oh,
It's from it's from 2004 actually.
Stop ruining my freaking dream.
Wait, is it? It's a year before he passed away in real life.
Well, he passed away in 2006, right?
Oh, I thought it was 2005. My bad.
Is it 2000?
I don't know.
Oh, it was 2004. Yeah, he died a year later after this.
Oh, wow.
See,
Yeah,
it was the movie that
Dog
ended him.
stars Pat Morita, John Voight, Chevy Chase, and Jamie Presley.
Wow.
Who else in this movie?
That
Jesus
is a
Christ.
killer's row of please give me work.
Lori Petty is also in this movie from like
Wow.
all those movies. What else? Is there anybody else good in
Oh,
there? Not really.
this is painful.
It's a lot of bad ones. A lot of no name actors in this.
What if Mr. Miyagi or Pat Morita brought dishonor upon his family by doing Karate Dog and they killed him, and it was Ichiban Kasuga?
Karate Dog is such a bad movie that the Chevy Chase character is called Cho, and I'm pretty sure that's the dog.
What?
I'm pretty sure. Chevy Chase plays the dog.
Chevy Chase is the dog.
Wow.
He is the karate dog that Pat Morita teaches karate to, and his
This
name
is
is
ridiculous.
This.
So
is...
after you watch the Chevy Chase, I mean the Jay Leno Pat Morita buddy cop movie,
where can we watch this?
We're watching nothing. We're watching nothing but Pat Morita movies from here on out.
We have a format.
Yes.
Pat Morita cast.
Oh, I have to spend like
Mr.
$2
Miyagi
on
Multiverse is the name of our fucking podcast. Let's go. Dude, how many movies? Like, this is insane.
I have to spend $2 to watch this? Pooh.
It might be worth it. I mean,
I'd rather watch Miracle
the
Beach.
Karate Dog.